All right, what's up, players? We are live with Between Streams podcast episode number 2. So let's get started, man. I'm Ordinary Wombat. I'm the founder of Between Streams, and I'm here with Mr. Sensei, one of my mods, and I have Joe the Chode, one of my mods. So if you guys want to give each other a little introduction, we can start with Sensei.
Like we went over last time, my name's Sensei. I go by SenseiSan now on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, pretty much everything. I just hit affiliate yesterday, so we're rolling, we're chilling, and hope you guys all have a fun time.
All right, we got Joe.
And I'm Joe the Chip. You can just call me Joe. This is my daughter, Anastasia. And I am your guys' resident Mixer streamer. I used to be on Twitch, still Popeyes from time to time. But for the most part, I just take care of all things Mixer related, organizing that team, getting people connected with stuff, and then sponsorships and whatnot. I can link you guys in the right thing, like the right direction if you need help with that. But for the most part, I'm just part of the community.
There we go. All right, so we'll just kick it right into high gear, and we'll start with our first topic, which is we're going to talk about all the different streaming platforms and the upgrades and little updates that they're going to have to make to accommodate for each change. So to start off, we'll talk about how these big streamers are moving from one platform to another. Like we have Ninja going to Mixer, we have Courage going to YouTube, Corinna Kopf going to Facebook. I think you said Valkyrie was going towards YouTube as well. And then, there's just been a bunch of these, going around. And I'll give my first initial thought about it is that I really think that it's gonna be more of a competition, like Ash DeCrest was talking about in Sensei stream last night. Is that it's gonna cause change. It's more competition between the platforms, and it's gonna have to make each other really work for those streamers to attract more.
No, I agree that you, me, and Ash kind of were talking about it pretty much all last night, at least until we started playing the tournament. It kind of calmed down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just the competition's just gonna get boosted. Twitch is gonna have to pay attention to who they're banning, why they're banning them, and they're just gonna have to hold their policies a little bit stronger.
Yeah, 100%.
Joe's the resident Mixer streamer, so he knows a little bit more about Mixer than both of us.
Yeah. Aside from just the resident the competition thing in general, it's just amazing to see how many people are actually out there watching streams. Because if you were to scroll through Facebook randomly, you'll see somebody with 28,000 views for some no-name streamer, and they're just getting the views from people mindlessly scrolling through videos. YouTube, people are popping off constantly. Mixer, you have the highest people are getting about 3,000 to 5,000. Most of everybody else is in the 50 viewer range.
Yeah.
But everybody was all it's a new platform, they're not going to get views. But you're still getting people that are having great views and still able to make a living off of that. Then you have people just doing things, even making videos on TikTok. There's people that do little content stuff that just make it so that they're able to get by and get views that I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Facebook is definitely one that you don't think about when you think of oh, I'm gonna go watch a stream. I'm gonna go watch some games. But if they're starting to grab some players, and from one advantage I would think of it is that it's not saturated at all with streamers. So those people that are on Facebook and let me look through streams, it's much easier to get their attention rather than on Twitch when you have you can have on Fortnite, you have over 2,000 channels streaming Fortnite at the same time.
I think Facebook got smart getting into the live stream gaming because everyone's on Facebook. Even if you're not on Facebook that much, you're probably scrolling through it. Even if you don't post that much, I pretty much use it just to keep in contact with family and friends that I don't see all the time.
Yeah,
but I'm always scrolling through it. So if I even when I'm scrolling down, I see 5, 6, 7 live streams that people that are live. My friend streamed off Facebook Gaming for a little bit before he stopped streaming. He only streamed for a very brief period, but. Even just I pick up my phone, I'm scrolling through Facebook, oh hey, there's a live stream. Twitch you have to go into a whole new app for. Mixer you gotta go into a whole new app for.
Yeah, exactly.
YouTube. I don't even know how to get to YouTube Gaming.
That's a great point.
YouTube Gaming's a little I only see when Courage is live and I'll click on that. Other than that, I don't have.
I was gonna say the same thing. There's one person that I used to watch YouTube live. His name was Spiros. He used to play Blackout on Black Ops 4. But other than that, that was just because I would look up blackout videos when I'm like sitting on the couch or whatever, but and he was like pop up, but I have no clue how to actually get to like their stream directory and see like all the people that are live. I'll be honest, I have no clue how to do that.
Yeah, they definitely didn't make that accessible.
PC, it's a little bit easier for like YouTube because you can just go to the YouTube gaming like category.
Yeah.
But even like today was Valkyrie's first YouTube live stream, and everybody was trying to figure out how do they subscribe to her on mobile because there's no built-in functionality for that yet.
Huh.
Yeah, they just that was one of the big complaints that Courage JD had, and they slowly like introduced it into his stream first to try to get the mobile thing set for everyone.
Well, I think he'll definitely always get like, you know, the first like the beta, their beta on all of their different things they're gonna try to implement into YouTube gaming, because he's probably arguably the biggest YouTube live streamer, I would say. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys, yeah, definitely.
Him, Lachlan. I mean, Valkyrie is gonna be up there now, but she's gonna, I feel, take over like the female streaming category in that.
Oh, 100%. But I would still argue that Courage is the all-time biggest on that platform.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So he'll always get those little perks. What was that, Joe?
I'm not even sure if I can agree with that because Courage is a big streamer, but they recently released I think it was like 2019's most influential gamers, and there were some people on that list that were above Nadeshot and Courage. I didn't even know who they were.
Huh.
Like the number 2 guy was some Spanish YouTuber with like over 5 million viewers or something like that. So like you have those people from different regions or doing different things that are just like, you know, unknown to most of us, but they're popular somewhere else.
That's a good point. I didn't really take that into consideration. I mean, yeah, like that makes sense because there are some YouTubers that like, honestly, PewDiePie, I never watched PewDiePie, but like this guy is ginormous, you know, but I guess sometimes he's just not into my recommended and whatnot, so I don't watch his videos. So I guess there are those people that stream different games that I don't watch, that I don't know about, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I watched PewDiePie more in high school more than anything.
So I mean,
FIFA and Minecraft have untapped markets for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Courage hit that market earlier in the year, and it kind of skyrocketed.
Minecraft was a big. I mean, it's been more popular between like those big Fortnite competitive streamers. I mean, I've definitely seen Symphony and Brooke, AB, and even Valkyrie play a lot of it as of late. Same with I think Courage even as well. So I mean,
Yeah,
Minecraft could definitely bump it up, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. Courage, like when Courage jumped on, he brought Maven, who's a Call of Duty caster, or used to be a Call of Duty caster, is one of them. He brought people like Brooke AB, Sim, like they had a whole little group that they did. And they brought the views up on YouTube. Like I looked up a chart one day. It was the viewership for Minecraft, and like before Courage and all them started playing versus after, and Courage and that whole group, like Ninja hopped on too. Like they had a huge group that was playing, and they skyrocketed the viewership for it.
You know, that also like it also brings up the playership like from non-streamers onto the games as well, because I know once I saw like them playing it, I was like, oh, like I kind of want to play Minecraft again, and hopped on for a little while, you know what I mean? So it's very helpful for the game base as well, you know, for the game manufacturers and the game developers.
Yeah.
I mean, I would also say that like there's gonna have to be differences, like upgrades, you know, because Mixer has Hype Zone, which we were talking about last night as well, which I think is like an amazing feature. You said you've been hosted by 1,000+ viewers at once from the Hype Zone. So like I really think that with all this moving around from the big streamers from Twitch and whatnot, that Twitch is gonna have to include, you know, new features like this that promote smaller streamers growing.
Yeah, they're gonna have to step with their game. I love the Hype Zone. That's one of the big things that kept me on Mixer for so long. Like some of the things I didn't so much like on Mixer, I got a lot of bots that I used over on Twitch that I really liked, and it was kind of hard for me to move them over into Mixer. But the Hype Zone, I got it like I think I said like 3 or 4 times last night, and I gained a lot of followers off of it, but it shot like around 2,000 people in almost every single time I got Hype Zone.
Oh, definitely.
Regardless on if I won the game or not, like it was kind of cool to get.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I know Twitch implemented the hype train for like their chats, and they're starting to do a lot more chats integrated
Yeah.
stuff that both Mixer and YouTube have, like the super chats and whatnot like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be nice to see like all of them find a way where they can like, because my favorite thing about Mixer is just the chat interaction. Like I love being able to interact with the chat, then being able to do stuff like one of the Mixer streamers, Ship. He was essentially the ninja of Fortnite on Mixer before Ninja switched over, and he had this beta program, like a beta feature for Mixer where you can pretty much gamble your sparks or bits or embers on what's going to happen with the match. So let's say he's playing Fortnite, he's in top 10. You can say, hey, I'm going to wager like 500 sparks that he's going to get a kill within the next 30 seconds. Then the timer goes down. If he doesn't get a kill, you lose your sparks. If you get a kill, you win the sparks. So they have like little polls and stuff like that that are triggered.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's definitely a cool feature. Yeah, and I think we can all, I mean, I would say it, I don't know if you guys would agree, but I would definitely think that Mixer has a better viewer engagement than Twitch because of the features like this, you know? And I really think if Hype Zone was implemented onto Twitch or something relatively similar, there would be, you know, like I said, streamers growing rapidly. And I mean, in my opinion, I'm not a business person at all, but so there, I mean, Twitch might have a whole different philosophy, but from my standpoint, I would be like, there's much more possibilities for them to make more money with more affiliates growing, becoming partners. That's more ad revenue, more sub revenue, more all of that revenue going to them, you know?
No, I agree with that, like, full-heartedly. I mean, they're gonna have to, and not even just Mixer, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch are gonna have to step their game up. To me, the biggest complaint that I always had when I switched over to Mixer, I used Stream Elements on Twitch, and that's how I did everything. It solved all my problems with my chat or with like my alerts and like new follower like badges and everything.
Yeah,
it helped me so much with that. And I went over to Mixer and I like looked at Joe. I'm like, Joe, what's the best thing for me to use? Because I hated StreamJar. StreamJar never worked well for me. And then eventually, like, as soon as I went to go switch back, I was like switching back over to Twitch, and like I went on Stream Elements to kind of do my new overlay and everything. And Mixer was then integrated. And I was like, okay, so now all these other people, like, I know Streamlabs does it, like, has Mixer integration, but it was nice to see Stream Elements finally start to step towards Mixer because all these bigger streamers are starting to go that way.
Yeah, I mean, Joe and you both have more experience than I do on Mixer. I have no clue about it, if we're being honest. But, I mean, yeah, like you said, there's going to have to be all of these other third-party programs that streamers use for Twitch are going to have to start integrating their Mixer integrations. Just like Discord, you know, we still have that, the Twitch integration where you can see their live, and now they're even added YouTube Live into it where you can get streamer mode enabled and our bot will put you into the live now category. But for some reason, Discord still doesn't have a Mixer integration. I don't know, it could be with an API situation or something like that. I have no clue. But you would think, like, at this point in time, you would start having more of that. Especially because I would say Mixer is definitely bigger than YouTube Gaming. I would think.
Yeah, and see, like, for the Mixer integration, I don't understand why it's not a thing that's happened yet, because they have integration with Discord. You can link your Mixer account to your Discord and have your Mixer bot on your server, but it's only for that streamer. So, like, if we were to be streaming, like, say, this podcast on Mixer, every time we go live, we can have it go through the same way you would on Twitch, but we can't have each individual streamer from our Discord go live, which, you know, it's one of those things that kind of suck. But at the same time, there are people that are working on different bots for it. It's just not reliable.
Yeah. That's what the bot that you just got for the Discord, aren't they working on a Mixer integration?
Yeah, so the bot that I have in the Discord at this moment is working on an integration for that. So that should be here within, you know, a couple months. But you would still think, I don't know, Mixer was still like decent sized, you know, a year ago. So I would think that more of these bots would have the feature, but none of them do, you know? It's kind of crazy. And I mean, as a Mixer streamer, Joe, and you were a former Mixer streamer, Sensei, it's definitely got to be like frustrating in a sense. Like, you know, you're just trying to stream and you have to go into the crevices and everything of all of these different programs to find something that will work for you guys.
Yeah, and it's definitely the reach for sure is harder to get on Mixer because a lot of people don't know, they're not familiar with the site, or they don't want to go do it. Like everybody has a YouTube account, everybody has a Facebook account. You need a Facebook account for pretty much any phone game you want to play because they require you to sign in with it even if you don't use Facebook.
True.
So it's just the fact that you have to ask somebody to make something like a new account and get experience on a new site makes it a little bit harder for engagements. Like the other day, we were having a discussion where one of our streamers had a 12-hour stream with only one new follower, and honestly, I can relate to that. This whole month, or this whole so far this month, I've streamed about maybe 30 something hours. I got about 2 followers, and my viewers, like my average viewers, way less than it would be when I was on Twitch. Like I left over 1,000 followers on Twitch, and I have 20 on, like a little over 25 on Mixer. So it's one of those things where like it's a huge sacrifice to do it, especially since I gave up my affiliate program, so now I'm not making money off ads. Now I'm not making money off subs. I'm just getting whatever random donations I get, if any. So it's a huge reality check when you like between the two
Yeah.
platforms, but at the same time, it makes you really realize what it's going to take for you to get to where you want to be. Like you have to realize, okay, last year I just would stream. Now I'm and then I went from just streaming to saying, "Hey, I'm going live." Now I'm reaching out on different social medias, trying to build an audience everywhere else, and then redirect it to that one spot.
What made you switch initially from Twitch to Mixer?
I was gonna ask the same thing.
So there's a few things. Obviously, the elephant in the room would be the Alinity stuff. It's just the fact that happened and there was no repercussions for it. Then you have other people that are getting banned for far less. And
me and Ordinary touched on that a little bit.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where like.
What were you saying? Go for it. You're good.
It's one of those things where like you could see that they clearly play favorites to the people that are putting money back in their pockets, which is understandable. But at the same time, you need to set examples. You can't just let everybody get away with everything.
Yeah, there was an example. There's 2 examples I can have. Like, Alinity didn't get banned for everything that she's done. Karina Kopp got banned for 24 hours off of Twitch for wearing a low-cut shirt. Like, that honestly made no sense to me when a lot of the female streamers do wear low-cut shirts. Like, Finn and I were talking about the other day. Like, it happens sometimes. Like, girls use that to get their viewership or get people to come back. But banning Karina when she's done nothing wrong, besides wear a low-cut shirt, and she gets banned for 24 hours. And I kind of attributed it to that she's a little bit more outspoken than Alinity. She says what's on her mind, and she doesn't care about the repercussions of it. But then she switched over to Facebook gaming, did she not? Right? Facebook?
Yeah, she just got signed over to there.
There's this other one. I'm blanking on her name, but she called out Twitch saying that she could pretty much get away with anything. And she's like, I showed my nudes on screen before and stuff like that, and had never gotten banned. And she flashed flashed herself like 10 seconds after that, and then instantly got banned like 10 seconds after that. Like her stream instantly went offline. Like that's like you're gonna play one where like obviously if you're calling out Twitch, you're gonna get banned pretty heavily because anybody that's a moderator for like Twitch in general is gonna step in and be like, "Yo, what's going on?"
Yeah.
And ban, but people like Karina is getting banned for just wearing a low-cut shirt, where people like Alinity is doing far more, breaking their TOS and not getting banned for anything. That it honestly made no sense to me.
Yeah, I would definitely say, sorry to cut you off, Joe, that I see that stuff happen, you know what I mean? And definitely I believe, Alinity should have been banned pretty quickly for... I don't care how long she was, but there should have been some repercussion to it, you know what I mean? There was a huge thing, there was nobody on her side. Nobody. And what was that?
It's kind of the same thing, but it's a little different. Like Dr. Disrespect, he's a huge personality, makes a lot of money for Twitch.
Yeah.
And he got banned for 3 days when he walked into a bathroom.
Oh yeah.
I think it was a week.
Yeah, it was a long ban.
Obviously that's a crime. Like I get it. It's an illegal thing to film a public restroom, but at the same time, animal abuse is a crime as well.
Yeah. And Alinity didn't get banned at all.
No, yeah, there was no ban at all. and it was all over. Keemstar was tweeting about it, Ninja was tweeting about it,
Yeah.
Tfue was tweeting about it. The
Almost
biggest,
every like
the biggest
little small,
influencers, the
Yeah,
biggest
yeah,
influencers
exactly.
on all platforms were saying something about it, and there was absolutely nothing done.
Yeah, that to
So,
me says a lot.
I mean, I could definitely see why that would make you leave, Joe. But I mean, that's definitely a big change. Leaving 1,000 followers and now you're at 20, a little over 25. You said so. It, like you said though, it can definitely put into perspective how the difference between the platforms. And how known they are and how easy it is to grow on them.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Mixer when I went over. I think at the time I had like 125 followers on Twitch, and I just kind of wanted to test the waters with Mixer and
Yeah.
see what went on. But the first thing I noticed, like right off the bat, is that my chat activity went like skyrocketed. Like everyone was in my chat. Like even if they were stopping to just say hello, like 9 out of the 10 times I had to like pull like even saying a hello out of some of my Twitch viewers. Like
Yeah.
do I know who you are? Like just say hi or anything, and like I don't know. That's I don't know.
I know what you mean. I mean, the one thing that I can say is, Joe, you're like a big League streamer, if I'm correct, right? That's what you stream most of the
I
time.
play a little bit of everything. So, for a while it was a lot of League. Then I switched to World of Warcraft, and now I'm switching to Call of Duty. It's more so what my daughter allows me to play.
Hmm.
But primarily it was League for like the last 10 years. That was been my main game, where it doesn't matter how tilted I get or how bad I'm feeling, I can just throw on a League game and I'll be enjoying the
So-
game for like half an hour.
What I was gonna get at was, I think Mixer it's good for growing for certain games. Like,
It's definitely better aimed towards the BRs.
yeah, like
especially
with Hype
Fortnite
Zone
having
exactly
Hype
and
Zone.
everything. There's
Yes,
hype zones
so
for
it-
Fortnite. I believe there's one for PUBG. If I'm wrong, I don't know if I'm wrong. And there's one for
It's based around all the BR games, pretty much. I mean, that's the only game you could really do it because
Yeah.
they just look for people that are in like the final circles or like close to winning a game.
So I mean, there's definitely that. Like where I would say that BR games and like multiplayer games like that are definitely easier to grow on Mixer with. Whereas like League, I would say it would probably be easier, or World of Warcraft would be easier on Twitch. Correct. I could be 100% wrong. I'm not a Mixer person, like I said, but
Finn
that's
said-
my
Finn said the same
interpretation.
thing.
You're not wrong, but at the same time, it all depends. Because, like, yes, there's less people watching it on Mixer, but it's also as less of a market, or like an easier market to get into. Because let's say if I'm
Okay.
going to play World of Warcraft, I can't compete with Asmon Gold, who's getting 200 and something thousand views every single day. And then if Asmon's not streaming, then you have Soda Poppin who's streaming. And if Soda Poppin's not streaming, then you have the lower people, like you'll have Rekful, Mitch Jones, NMP, LOL, Sony Digital, all these other people who are just like, if they're not big content creators, then they're professional esports players, and it's just like it trickles down from one to the other to the other. Whereas Mixer, you don't really have that big of a thing. Like, let's say the top guy only has like 300 views or something like that.
Yeah.
Once he goes offline, where are those people gonna go? And it also depends on what content you're doing. So it's like,
It's a good
if
point.
you're playing Fortnite, all you're playing is Battle Royale, unless you're playing the story mode that nobody ever plays.
True.
So when you're playing World of Warcraft, you can do anything from dungeon runs to PvPing to gold farming to just questing, leveling, whatever.
That's why
You can
Yeah.
do
Destiny
it
got a
role
lot
playing.
of views for a long time. Destiny got a lot of views just because of like the different things you could do. You could do PvP, you could raid, you could do the story missions.
Yeah,
So
like if I'm playing League of...
I was just gonna say, like, that's. Sorry about that. That's definitely just, but that's also, I wouldn't say that's really just a Mixer feature though, where the streamers would, like, the viewers would fall down though, because that's also for smaller games, but definitely on Mixer it's easier for them to find those smaller channels. Whereas on, but certain games like on Twitch, like Deceit, let's say, the top person, if no big streamers playing it and streaming it, the top person can be 50 viewers or 100 viewers. You could have, it's usually around like 20 streams at that point, 20 live channels. And now it's so much easier for those viewers when that stream ends, or for the streamer actually to find someone to host. it's so much easier because you have 20 people. You know, there's only 20 people to pick from. Whereas if someone on Fortnite is looking, they have 2,000 people to look through to find someone. You know,
I think
so
it's a lot
definitely,
to do with the times, though. Like the past couple nights, like we've been staying up kind of late and playing tournaments.
yeah,
Late at night, like when I'm streaming, the only two big streamers that like are at least up there, at least that I follow, are Myth and Mr. Fresh Asian, and they're both usually playing Fortnite. Those are the only two big people I see. The third person under that is this girl P90 Princess who I follow, and she plays. She's like a variety streamer, but she brings in like 500 viewers, and Myth and Mr. Fresh Asian are bringing like anywhere from 2,000 to like 20,000 people.
yeah. That's a good point.
Like
But go ahead, Joe.
right right now on for League of Legends on Twitch, Tyler One has 21.7k views, and the total league channel has 182,000. And then on Mixer, the total league views is 366 with Pumping It Kitty on having like 50, and then the next person has like 47. So it's like it's a huge difference between it.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
just,
it really
but
is.
you also got to realize, like, Tyler One, he's known for he was originally known for his toxicity. So you go to his chat, it's gonna be a bunch of emote spamming, it's gonna be a bunch of trolling. You go to Bumping at Kitties, and it's like actual conversation. So it's one of those things where, like, yeah, the viewers are different, but it's also a huge community difference as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's what I noticed. The community difference, like right off the bat.
yeah, 100 like Sensei was saying is on Twitch you get a lot of lurkers even if you don't mean to. Whereas on Mixer, I feel like those are a lot more active viewers where they'll chat with you, and that's just more. Mixer definitely has more of a sense of community, I would say, at this point in time.
Yeah, I agree.
So I mean, but we'll kind of move into our next topic, which they're super related though. Is you have these platform changes, but then you also have these gaming organization changes. So whereas like gaming orgs used to be exclusive to esports teams and whatnot, whereas now you got more content creator teams coming out like 100 Thieves, where they're signing legit content creators, not a competitive player for a certain game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, 100 Thieves is the one that's kind of taken that over. I mean, I can kind of argue that pretty much all of FaZe is now content creators because
Yeah,
I've never really seen their name in anything anymore, and they pretty much just have the house for like Tico and all them to live in and just kind
true.
of create content together. So
They've
you can
been
kind of
content
argue
creators
that.
for years, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
TSM I think is another one that's like all not like primarily content creator based, but they have a lot of content creators as well.
Yeah,
TSM, it depends. For League of Legends, their team back between season 3 to season 6 was mainly like content focused. Then they kind of gave it up as they went through roster changes and whatnot because the personalities weren't there anymore.
yeah,
So it's kind of harder to make your esports team your content team, and that's where they struggled. Like right now, they have Fortnite as their content creators, but when was the last time you seen a video with Daquan, Hamlins, and Myth?
The last one I saw was like a month ago.
yeah.
Like
It's a
before
good
that
point.
month ago, it's been like a year or two since they moved into their house. And
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything. Like TSM's been irrelevant in the Fortnite scene as far as like content wise.
Yeah, it's just
Oh, I was
Myth
gonna
really
say that as
plays
well.
it.
Yeah,
They pretty much like Hamlins and all them just kind of play Fortnite for the fun of it. They don't do anything else.
yeah,
But
And, like,
they kind of started like playing really bad towards the end of like when they stopped streaming Fortnite. Like they couldn't keep up with the competitive times. Myth
Oh,
could.
yeah.
Myth is still good at it, but Hamlins and
well, they also had
who's the
personal
other guy?
issues, too,
Daquan, yeah.
Hamlin's disappeared for a while, and then I know Daquan had like back issues and whatnot. And then there was the other guy, Camille's, who got cut
Hmm.
because he was underperforming. So
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where like you can't really. It's nice to have your esports team as your content team, but it's rare to pull it off. Like Optic was the one that pulled it off the best because you still have Scump and Nadeshot who were making videos while they were making vlogs while still scrimming and streaming,
Mhm.
and then they made that transition to whatever they do next. So like even now in NRG, Hex is still making videos with Scumpy every now and then. Nadeshot's with formed 100T. He's making great content videos that are not even have to do
Oh,
with Fortnite or League of Legends or whatever he's doing. He does his unboxings, and they were just doing a what's in the box challenge and a bunch of like other stuff.
Well, that's what I
So
like who
like
they're hiring. Like if you look at who they're hiring, like to me, FaZe kind of took a lot of their pro players and like, hey, like we still want to keep you around. We're still gonna pay you, make content for us, and that's all they do now. Like Scissors was like a content creator, and he pretty much did like creative mess for Fortnite and everything. They kind of stepped off. Now they're all content creators. But look at who 100 Thieves went after. He went after Courage JD, who to me was arguably top 10 Twitch streamers of all time. Now he's probably number 1 YouTube streamer, besides like the ones that like at least people that like we pay attention to and people that we know. And then Valkyrae at the time was the was top 3 fast growing female Twitch streamers. And then you have Brooke AB, who's following that as well. They hired phenomenal content creators, and then the content creating team they have behind them for their production and coming up with all these videos is insane. There's no competition for it. I don't feel
there definitely isn't.
Outside of that, like, okay, outside of esports in general, no professional players, just regular people. Look at the mob. The mob were just a bunch of Twitter people.
Yeah.
They were literally just they're a bunch of Twitter trolls who did nothing but just screw around and they play FIFA and whatnot. But their numbers skyrocketed. Frosty just won the Uno Twitch Rivals a couple days ago, and it's one of those things where like they have the most scuffed house ever, but it's great content to watch because you're just wondering like how the hell are these kids able to get by?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, like, but going back to like, even like promotion wise, I would say like 100 Thieves gets their name out. Like anyone in 100 Thieves, they're in 100 Thieves. Obviously, like like Daquan and whatnot, they're in the thing, but like you don't have them really advertising it. Whereas like I've definitely seen Brooke, I've definitely seen the Mob, I've seen all of these players in 100 Thieves advertising, hey, I'm in this, you know what I mean? I'm in this org.
Well, that's why I like their production videos. Like when they released, like when Courage first joined, they had a whole video on him joining. They did the same thing for Brooke. I did see Valkyrae's, but I saw like a year after she had joined and Courage started to join 100 Thieves. Like they have some of these like really cool production videos that it's not like, hey, like just sitting down like, hey, we signed this person, this is Courage AD, everything. They have like such a unique video for it to announce that they're joining 100 Thieves. And like even recently, even like I live in Liverpool, Syracuse, New York, it's like not even like a big city, it's like a smallish city, but I see more people walking around in 100 Thieves gear. Like when I went to the fair, we have a fair that everyone comes to in New York. I saw more people walking around in 100 Thieves gear than I did FaZe gear. And FaZe, to me, arguably at the time when 100 Thieves was starting, is still the biggest organization. But I see more people repping 100 Thieves than FaZe.
Yeah, so FaZe is definitely the biggest org in my opinion. I would say even logistically it's probably the biggest org and most successful org at this point in time. But what I've seen like from FaZe merch and whatnot is that FaZe's merch is like, I would say, I don't want to use the word luxury because it's not luxury, but like you have collabs with big named brands. You know what I mean? So whereas 100 Thieves, they don't really collaborate with big named brands, but they have their own line of merch.
They just did it with 3 Stripes, didn't they? Adidas? For their
Who did 100 Thieves?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had 100 Thieves custom made Adidas.
Yeah, they did. They had custom made Adidas shoes.
So that's
Razor they're branded with at this point.
All right, so that's news to me. But I know with FaZe is like you have like champion sweatshirts coming out, not just like a printed on sweatshirt in a way. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, that 100 Thieves merch is nice. It's very nice. But whereas FaZe is more like they drop 1 or 2 a year, or more than 1 or 2, but it's more like a drop and then you don't have another one until another drop. Same thing with 100 Thieves,
same way.
But I don't know. I would just say I know FaZe, like I've went to buy some of their merch. It's also very, very expensive. Like more expensive than 100 Thieves, and not everyone's willing to pay that.
Yeah. To me, I think I'd rather spend my money on 100 Thieves merch like that. I don't feel like 100 Thieves needs a big clothing brand like Champion or Adidas to get their name out there. Nate Shop marketed it right, and he knew from the get-go. He's like, I don't want this to be just a gaming org. I want the merch and the clothing line. He wanted to make it a clothing line originally. He's like, a clothing line to come first. And they have done a phenomenal job with the people that they have gone to help make this gear and make this merch. that it's pretty much like an everyday wear item at this point. Like if you rep FaZe merch, like like, oh, okay, they really like watching FaZe. Some of the stuff, if people don't know what 100 Thieves is, it's still cool looking shirts. Like,
Yeah. So another like I could be wrong again, like, but what I can see is maybe like FaZe fans are like die-hard FaZe fans, whereas you can have 100 Thieves fans that aren't so die-hard. So like that's the thing is where 100 Thieves they make like an actual clothing line, like you said. So
yeah,
it's not really like, yeah, it's merch, but it's not merch at the same time. Whereas
yeah,
FaZe Clan drops merch, and not everyone wants to rep merch. You know what I mean?
yeah. Joe's daughter disconnected his streaming PC.
Yeah, there you go. But
But no, I'm like extremely zoomed in now too.
let me fix that while we do this. All right.
But no, I don't know. I think I'm more tempted to buy 100 Thieves merch, and I'm like there at every drop. I haven't gotten a single piece of it yet, but I'm literally there for like every drop. Like, yo, can I get anything? Like, what's cool? And they release some cool merch. To me, FaZe releases the same stuff every single time. It's like, oh, we have a sweatshirt, we have this, we got this and this. The same designs. I'm like, dude, this is getting old at this point.
Yeah, definitely. What's it called? Let me just try to. Because this is gonna be.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
here we
Joe.
go. Yeah, Joe's back. All right,
There
we
we
got
go.
Joe back. Let's go. I don't hear him. Do you hear him?
I told you your daughter was gonna unplug something there, Joe. I can't hear him.
Yeah, I can't hear him, but we'll get back into it while he kind of works on that. Um, but there's definitely differences between the orgs as well. Like, whereas FaZe is still competitive teams, you know what I mean? Whereas 100 Thieves, I don't think has any competitive teams, does it?
100 Thieves has League, and they got out of COD. They have Elite, Elevate and Cease for Fortnite, but they don't play together anymore. They play with two different people. But yeah, they have a League team, and they have a CS:GO team now. They acquired a CS:GO team.
Oh,
And
okay.
their CS:GO team is insane.
There we go.
There's Joe.
Sorry.
Yeah, all good, all good. So yeah, I
Your
mean,
God was gonna unplug something.
I guess it's just they're even though there's both gaming orgs, I see them as two completely different entities, honestly.
Yeah, I mean they both have their spots where they're better. They both have their spots where they're weaker. I mean, they all pretty much all the big names backed out of Call of Duty franchising, and that's one where I said right off the bat, if they lose Nade Shot doesn't go, being arguably probably next to Scump, the biggest Call of Duty professional player that's kind of moved on from professional gaming. I mean, Scump hasn't, but if he doesn't go for the franchising, a lot of teams are gonna back out and not go for it because he's gonna. They were hoping that he was gonna kind of be the front leading person for it,
Yeah,
and it turned out not being that way. I mean, you have Hex and Scump with energy, but Nade Shot's arguably still the biggest.
definitely. Um, I mean, anyone else have anything to say? I think we got our point together
So-
about that point.
As far as the teams and stuff like that go, one of the things that I wanted to bring up was you had the mob that makes you feel normal, and then you have people like Team Summertime who just make there's just a bunch of friends that enjoy playing together for NRG, and they just make great plays and have great content and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where like there's different views or like different ways to get content, teams and whatnot. You just got to figure out what the niche is and like what's gonna work best for you, and what you have fun doing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Definitely. So, I mean, I think we'll end that portion of the podcast and kind of move into more between streams oriented. So, we'll start off with we have our jerseys and new merch in the works. Sensei can definitely take lead with jerseys and whatnot because he's the one been setting that up. But basically, they're legit jerseys. We're customizing them, and then all three of us are buying an extra blank, and we're gonna be giving those out for a giveaway.
Yeah, so Ordinary and I a long time ago, not even a long time ago, 3 weeks to a month ago, started talking about like we wanted to introduce new merch. He wanted better merch for the store, and I was like, we at the time we were talking about making like some sort of competitive teams. Ordinary and I have been playing competitive Call of Duty just to kind of get into it a little bit. We haven't been playing that well, but it's our first couple of nights playing together, like competitively at least. We'll wreck people in pubs, and then tournaments come around, and we can't play anything for whatever reason.
Basically.
But we were talking about doing jerseys for like competitive teams and like getting a league team together, getting a CS:GO team together, because we got a bunch of people in the Discord that play a bunch of different games. Echo and I play Fortnite. Joe plays League, and I'm starting to join League, and Echo and Finn are starting to join League. But making those groups, so I was like, a lot of these teams just make jerseys and have like a set jersey that they wear. So let's make that. So we found a cool little site, and we created a long sleeve jersey and a short sleeve jersey. If you guys go into announcements and scroll up a little bit, I have both of the drafts for them up there. But the long sleeve, like if my sweatshirt, if you're looking at the long sleeve, your gamer or your handle for the Twitch stream or for your Twitch is going to be right on the right hand shoulder, pretty much. You're gonna have the Between the Streams logo. You have on the long sleeve, you have 4 streamers down the left and 5 streamers down the right arms. If you're a streamer in our group and you have the streamer role, you're gonna have that role right on your right here on your sleeve cuff. And then the short sleeve, we kind of had to work a little bit different around. You have 4 streamers, 5 streamers right across the front. On the short sleeve, your gamer tag or Twitch channel is going on the right shoulder. On the long sleeve, it's going along the V-neck collar. I like that design a lot better. And then it has Between the Streams on the back. It's in our blue, and if you look at the logo in the middle of the screen, it's going to be the same color as our blue and purple, just a little bit off, so it kind of contrasts the logo a little bit. But I already have, how many people do I have buying them? 11.
I think we have around 11 or 12.
That's just for the short sleeve. We have like 17, 18 people buying these jerseys in the next couple weeks. If anybody wants to buy them, just hit up my line, DM me. That's what everyone's been doing. If you want the short sleeve, it's 44. If you want the long sleeve, it's 66. If we get up to 10 long sleeves, it jumps down again. I think it goes into like 55. But it's just a cool little thing for us to get you guys. Me and Ordinary are going to try to work on some more merch as well. Try to get some. We want hat. I know Ordinary wants what? You want a flat brim? No, you want a dad hat, right?
Yeah, dad hats would be sick.
I mean, I would love a dad hat. Even sweatpants. If we like put a logo on a sweatpants or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely possibilities for all of this, and I really like it. The one thing I want to put out there just for everyone to know is the jerseys, there's no profit in that at all for us, any of us. The merchandise, there is profit, but it's not for us. It's for the Discord, for more giveaways and whatnot, so we don't have to reach into our own pockets and always buy the stuff that we're giving away and whatnot. So it's really you help us, we help you, you know what I mean? It's really, it's one hand feeds the other,
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's the way it should be, honestly. I mean, you and Joe are buying each an extra long sleeve, a blank long sleeve, and I'm buying another long sleeve. And then if you guys down the line want them embroidered with your handles or whatever, say you win one way that we do, I have a guy that lives around. I'm gonna keep the blanks at my house, because I'm gonna ship out all the jerseys for everyone. I got everyone's address, and once they get the money to me, I'm gonna send them out for them. But if you guys want your names embroidered or your Twitch handles or anything embroidered on them, just let me know and I can take it to a buddy that I know if you guys want to down the line.
Definitely. And then it's really just a way for you guys to be able to rep Between Streams. I mean, you might not play competitively or whatnot. I know only really me and Sensei have been, and I wouldn't even call that competitively at this point.
I mean, Wolf does.
Oh yeah, that's correct.
Overwatch League.
True. So I mean, it's really just a way for us to kind of show our support. It looks cool. I know like Misfits always has people, they have all their streamers wearing their jerseys when they stream, so it's just kind of a cool thing to do for us.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then I mean, we introduced the affiliate program, which was Joe's idea. We have a couple streamers in it right now. We have, I think, 3. Again, that's just more of a way just to kind of push the merch out there, get some more money for more giveaways and whatnot. I mean, and then we also have a member of the week. which right now our member of the week is Cole Laugh. He's been super active in the Discord lately. I mean, I think you guys can agree, right?
Yeah, he's been super active. He comments on stuff that I post. I mean, I kind of pick because he doesn't watch horror movies and I'm a horror movie buff. So I always post like Pennywise stuff, or if he's streaming, I always post something like a quote from Pennywise or a horror movie up, just to kind of screw with him.
Yeah. So I mean, I really enjoy his company in the Discord. I mean, I think we all can say that. And you know, he's a good streamer and he's dedicated. You know, I see him live almost every day. He puts in the work, he puts in the hours. You know, so I appreciate that, and this was kind of our way to show him that we appreciate that. You know.
Yeah, I agree.
We're gonna be resetting the member of the week tomorrow, actually. So we'll talk more about that. You know, privately, of course, but. I mean,
are we gonna poll it, or are we gonna?
Well, we'll come up with, you know, a couple names, and if we see that's one that's really sticks out, we can give it to them. But if there's a couple that are close, you know, we can always put it out poll.
Yeah, I'm good with that. What else is there in here? We introduced the affiliate program, building a PC. We already kind of covered streaming as a group with the mob and TST.
Yeah,
I love TST.
The only thing we haven't really gotten into was, I mean, some of the stuff I put on there because I expected the podcast to be, you know, earlier, but we kind of got busy and had scheduling issues. But my question was going to be, you know, what do you guys normally do during the holidays? Do you guys like to stream during the holidays, or do you just spend that time with family? Is there any, like, gaming traditions you have, like some kind of, like, let's say Christmas time comes around, you play Christmas games, Halloween time, you play horror games, that kind of stuff.
Halloween time, I was supposed to play horror games this year, and I just never had a chance to really sit down and play a horror game. At that time, Fortnite had just come out with a couple of the tournaments, so me and Echo were playing that like crazy, just trying to move our rank up. So I never got around to playing it, but I mean, it's not gaming related, but every Christmas Eve, I watch horror movies all day. I don't watch Christmas movies. I watch like Scream and all that. I'm a huge horror movie buff, so that's all I do on my Christmas.
That's interesting.
I mean, Christmas, the humbug.
So, I mean, I don't really pick my games on holiday-wise, but, I mean, stream-wise, I know we talked about this, we can just touch on this real quick, is that, you know, that viewership goes down during this holiday season, which I find to be interesting in a way, because you have all these kids off of school, and you're like, they'll probably be watching a lot of streams, but it's actually the opposite.
Yeah, it's just a busy time for everyone. Like, that's the big thing. Like, everyone's out shopping, everyone's working to make sure they have money to shop. For me personally, I went from working 4 days a week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to working Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday being my only day off.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I guess there's definitely... It just kind of piqued my interest. I didn't really know about that, you know?
Yeah, I think Perfect is the one that kind of brought that up to my attention, is that we lose a lot of viewership, and just in general over the holidays.
No, that was my conversation with him. He was saying that he had his all-time highest viewer during that point, which, you know, that happens sometimes. But it's just one of those things where, like, you know,
in general,
busy, everybody's out of town. No one really has access to, like, phones or PCs and whatnot. Like, yeah, everybody has them with them, but it's not like you're really going to be sitting there on it while family's around.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree.
All right, so I mean, I guess we'll kind of end it here. Shoot, here we go. All right, so that should be better. I was gonna say, I think we'll kind of cut it here. You know, we kind of touched on all of our topics for this week. So we're just gonna plug in this in real quick. Sorry. All right, so I mean, we kind of touched on all of our topics. It was a good stream, a good podcast, in my opinion. I mean, if you guys have anything last things to say before you put out a raid to Zadow.
My only last thing is, you know, we took some time to make sure the podcast is available everywhere. So it's on Stitcher, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, pretty much anywhere where you normally listen to podcasts on Spotify and everything like that. Just look for the Between Streams podcast. The first episode from last year is already posted. This episode will be posted later on tonight, if not tomorrow. On Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on getting it up on YouTube within the next couple days. It just takes a while to download for me.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll have it everywhere for those that can't watch it live all the time. We're gonna be trying to go live every Tuesday around the same time, hopefully on time this the next time. But so yeah, I mean, we're gonna send out a raid to Zay. It was great having you guys in here, and we'll see you guys in the Discord.
Everyone follow Zay. Give my boy Zay some love. He's a Tim the Tatman look-alike.
Let's go. All right.
He doesn't believe.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. All right.